Carti, Playboi Carti. Okay, hold on, guys.
It's a piece of trash. Let's be honest though, there's nothing worse than an entitled person who feels like others are beneath them just because they make more money or just because of how famous they are. And that's exactly who this guy is.
Dude, I'm sitting there. You're celebrities.
And he's always been this way. Even before his career popped off, he was already the type of guy that was...
Right, hold on. Is this a video about Carti actually being a terrible person? Carti, the biggest piece of... Oh. Okay. I mean, well, hey, take a look at this. Carti, the biggest piece of trash in music. Okay. Is it because there's no actual need to be humble? There's no need. Trust me. There's no need to be humble. There's no need to stand on your morals and say, hey, I'm a nice guy. I'm motivated and I'm a nice guy and I made it here, so I'm not going to step on anyone's toes and I'm just going to be thankful for what I got. Yeah, you could do that, but that actually is really stupid. You worked so hard to get here, you might as well let everybody know, like, hey guys, I'm the greatest on I'm the greatest on earth. You know, I actually have no problem with this because I'm also a piece of shit, dude, so I don't even really care that much. Like, it's okay.
So rude that he would be on his cell phone throughout an entire interview. All three of these guys sat down for this content as a team, but whenever he wasn't able to talk about himself, he didn't give any sort of common courtesy to anyone in the room. So even before he popped off, he was already this entitled, insanely rude person. And then there's other interviews where he would show up so high that he would fall asleep during the recording of it. Basically wasting everyone's time, but like if you think he actually cares about that, he doesn't. In 2017, right in the middle of LAX airport, he gets into it with his girl at the time, Ruby Rose. He drags her by her backpack out of the terminal and throws her into an Uber, right in the middle of the day of one of the busiest airports in America. The guy clearly has issues containing his anger because according to witnesses, they noticed marks on Ruby's chest, but another witness also claimed that she started slapping him as well. Look, you can view this however you want, but I'm from the school of you don't hit women.
Right, so, I mean, that's 100% true. You don't touch your shorty. I don't care how strong you think you are. I don't care how strong you think he is. You just don't touch your body like that.
We can turtle, we can run, like there's lots we can do. Anyways, the guy skates off clean from this incident as he was initially charged with battery, but they eventually dropped the case. We don't really know why it got dropped. It could be because she hit him too. I don't know. I even found an old clip of academics reacting to this, where he couldn't have been more wrong because he said Playboi Carti would likely learn from the whole thing.
Not gonna know. Hopefully he'll learn, and I believe he will, because I mean, once you get locked up, you gotta pay $20,000 for bail. I don't think he'll continue those actions. I hope.
He's not wrong because people do genuinely learn, but I don't think this guy has that part of his brain. Like he doesn't have that. Usually when something like this happens in such a public place where the only reason why the cops...
Yeah, if you're doing this in a public place, you're crazy, bro. I mean, like you literally have no remorse. There's not even, actually, remorse is something that happens after the fact. It's not even that you don't have remorse. It's more the sense of like, I guess the man just has no self-awareness. Why are you doing this in a public place? Usually when people have beef and drama and they're beefing with their significant other, they're usually doing it behind closed doors. Like, oh, yo, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna smack you up, but I'm gonna smack you up behind the doors, you know? Like how Solange smacked up Jay behind the elevator doors, you know what I mean? Not just in public. Mind you, there was a camera, but that's, at least she was behind some sort of closed enclosure, some kind of enclosure, you know? She was in some kind of enclosure. Carti is just out here smacking shorties up in the middle of LAX. That's crazy. Like, you really have to think that you're untouchable. Nigga thought he was the kingpin. God damn, Carti.
Were called is because witnesses nearby did it for them. You can best believe a lot more happens behind closed doors, and Ruby Rose would later share another disturbing story.
She had mentioned about him pulling out a gun during an argument.
Yeah, and shooting at him.
You guys got into an argument and he pulled out his gun and...
Oh, I don't want to get into the...
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he allegedly shot off his gun.
A gun did, yeah.
Imagine being that big of a pussy that you had to hollow out a gun to intimidate a chick and shoot in her direction to like try and scare her. What a loser. And you know damn well the minute anything like this goes public, the crisis management team is on speed dial.
So we got the cease and desist from his lawyers. So if you guys think that you could get this taken down by trying to legally scare me, you're bugging right now.
I said something about him shooting at her one time, and Pierre showed up in my DMs like, why are you bringing that shit up?
And I think you're going to see the same thing for the new...
See, there's a lot... This is what I'm telling you about the rap game, bro. A lot of y'all niggas is fucked up, man. A lot of y'all niggas be defending niggas doing crazy shit because, yo, I don't want to lose my connect. I don't want to lose... Because it's all about money at the end of the day, bro. It's all about money. Now, I could say something that's a little bit controversial here. by saying that, you know what? Ruby Rose kind of likes that shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about when I'm saying. I'm not saying that she likes to get roughed up. I'm just saying that the gun firing off on right beside her type shit. I'm not advocating for people to perish, bro. I'm just saying that like sometimes shorties like dangerous shit. That's really the moral of what I'm trying to get at here is sometimes girls just like very dangerous situations, bro. And then it's not until after she leaves him that she realizes that like, okay, maybe I was wild. You know what I mean? But sometimes when you get two toxic people together, sometimes they do things where only once they leave that magnetic energy of toxicity do they kind of realize like, oh shit, I was wild.
Characters that he's got, where you're going to see there's going to be a cleanup attempt made. For example, a month ago I made a video about Metro Boomin, and in that video I showed clear evidence of just how innocent he was in that sexual assault case. And because my video painted Metro in such a positive light, his team literally paid several social pages to post clips of my video. Because my video made Metro look good, they actually paid to have that get circulated, right? And that just goes to show how things work behind the scenes. Like, a lot of times these paid posts have an agenda and something's being pushed, so be mindful of it. However, not only does he not respect women, but allegedly producers as well, where one of them hit him up for a payment, and this was how the convo went. Bro, you stole
from me and I wanted credit and royalties.
And to work. You're tripping, stop hitting me up. I'ma find you, little bitch. Fuck everybody who love you. You a peon. And that's how this guy thinks. Like, a producer to him, that's way beneath him. And you'll see that he looks at a lot of people like this. Just like in 2019 when Playboi Carti assaulted his tour bus driver, because when the bus broke down and the driver wasn't able to fix it, Carti threw an all-out temper tantrum because the replacement bus that they were going to give him wasn't as luxurious, so he attacked the driver. How dare they do that? Like, the audacity of someone to downgrade.
I'm sure that, like, this nigga is almost as bad as Travis Scott, bro. I'm sorry. Listen. What I said at the beginning of the video, okay? I was kind of trolling. What I really meant to say is, there's no need to be humble. But is there a need to still be polite? Yes, there is. You can't be out here being all gangster, throwing up gang signs, shooting up niggas, and you're not polite. That's not, no. Because then you're just a full-on demon.
The great Playboi Carti's tour bus. One of the other bus drivers said the following: I saw things being thrown around the tour bus, and then a man ran across and punched the driver in the face, cutting him and knocking his glasses off. This was a 24-year-old millionaire assaulting a 50-year-old bus driver. And even though his managers on the bus tried to do everything possible to twist the story in Carti's favor, he was ultimately found guilty of this and paid a measly 800 euros. You know, I'm sure he learned his lesson. I'm sure we'll never see an example of him assaulting another service worker again. And it turns out that even if the woman is someone that he went halves on a baby with, that doesn't gain any respect either. According to Iggy Azalea, who is the mother of one of his children, she wasn't even allowed to tell anyone that she was pregnant because he said it would interfere with his album rollout.
I never wanted to keep my pregnancy hidden the whole time. I thought once I started showing that I would be able to announce it and be happy, but this man kept saying that he was dropping an album and that he didn't want my baby announcement to interfere with his album.
She's acting like it's my problem she got pregnant, like during my album. According to Iggy, the guy...
She's bugging out, bro. She's bugging out. First of all, the pregnancy was a major problem. It stopped him from being able to go play PlayStation with Lil Uzi Vert, okay? Like, how you gonna stop a grown man from being able to go play PlayStation with Uzi, okay?
Is a deadbeat father, a narcissist, a habitual cheater, and she said that he's so self-absorbed that instead of being in the hospital to see their child's birth, he decided to be in a completely different state to play PlayStation. Most men will crawl through glass to get to the hospital for that moment, but for him, this is just a regular day. Iggy also said that Carti talked so poorly to her and treated her so badly that she literally had to cut off contact with him. And once again, according to her, his team is constantly hitting her up. They're trying to keep her quiet. Point blank, the guy just...
Yeah, but... Okay. The question is this. The question is this. When you're talking to him, right? When you're speaking to him, the first time that you're having these meetups with Carti and you're talking to Carti, what energy is he giving you at these first meetups? Is he self-absorbed and narcissistic? Okay, if he is and he kept that same energy, then that's on the people that are messing with him. But if he is giving you, I'm a nice guy, I'm chilling, I'm relaxed, and then he turns around and starts doing crazy shit, then okay, that's understandable. It's just crazy to think that he would have any sort of need to sort of cover up who he is. I think this man's is so self-absorbed that he would just be him from the jump. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to point fingers and say that it's anyone's fault per se. Okay? When you're dealing with people that are complete POSs, it's okay, bro.
Doesn't care for anyone but himself, and we've seen full-on proof of this as he's been arrested multiple times for driving up to triple the speed limit.
You're doing 133 down the highway in the HOV lane, putting everybody's life in jeopardy because you want to go to the airport?
Some might say this is just a speeding ticket, but no, this is a pattern of behavior where
Right.
this is not a kid. This is a 30-year-old man. This is the type of shit you do as a kid. And he's done this multiple times now. It was literally just months after that arrest where he got arrested for doing the exact same thing again, driving double the speed limit in an area where tons of people were walking around.
We got a lot of people that's walking around. I mean, you hit them. It's going to be vehicle homicide charge. You're not coming back from that.
And don't use the, oh, it's a nice car excuse, because the guy's 30. Like, a lot of us have driven nice cars. Anyways, once he moved on from his alleged abuse with Ruby Rose and Iggy Azalea, Playboi Carti...
You know what's crazy is a lot of y'all think it's want to act tough, but as soon as the police pull up and got you all up in, and the cameras all up in your grill, then everybody wants to act like a little kid, you know? I don't know. I mean, I was just going fast. I was just going fast. I didn't know.
Found himself another target, as back in December of 2022, he allegedly grabbed his 14-week pregnant girlfriend by the throat, pushed her into the bushes, and held her neck until she couldn't barely breathe. And the police report said she had visible marks.
All right, man. I tried. I really fucking tried. I tried to just support. I tried to just find the little glimpses of glimmer and light that one could point to Carti and say, no, he's still a nice guy. But when you do this and you're choking your shorty out with another baby of yours, now you're trying to take out two people. And at that point, we have to agree with the title of this video. Carti is a complete piece of trash.
Marks on her neck, her chest, and her back. So Carti gets hit with a felony assault charge and also another charge for hindering a person from making an emergency call, as when his girlfriend tried to call the police, he attacked her again.
At church, this guy's either from Minnesota or he's a Canadian native, just like me.
And for this one, we actually got body cam footage.
And he just ran up on me.
Oh, damn.
Pushed me down, dirty. And they all, like, when I'm trying to call the police, they're dragging me out of my car and covering my mouth. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do at that point.
She even shows the scratches on her back from when he pushed her into the bushes.
Can you change the address?
I couldn't see it.
So, I mean, what do you think happened to this girl? Like, how did that get on her back? Why is her back all scratched up? You think she's lying? Another thing that I noticed in this footage is that it was a pure example of the power dynamic that we see in these sorts of abusive relationships, where the girl is continuously made to feel guilty for exposing these sorts of details because it might tarnish his legacy.
Because they always, like, hold it against me, like, oh, you really want to ruin this person? Like,
it's not holding it against you if he attacked you.
I know, but it's still like...
Right, that's what I'm saying. Okay, that was the part also. That's the other side of the argument that I was saying earlier of, oh, they like it. Okay, well, not every person likes it, but you can definitely see in Ruby Rose's eyes that it's a little bit vacant in there. But the other side is this, that, oh, the whole media team, the PR team, they're gonna be like, nah, you can't go around saying this. You can't bring this to light. You can't do this. We're gonna pay you off, blah, 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 because at the end of the day, look what happened to Breezy, bro. He was on trajectory to be that black pop star that everybody was looking to have, that was supposed to be the replacement of Michael, you know what I mean? And it just never happened. I mean, we can get into that conversation too, of like how Usher, Chris Brown, The Weeknd, those are all like black pop stars, but for some reason, they just were never elevated to the level that Michael was. Now, then you have to ask yourself a question, did the skin bleaching play a factor in that? I'm not. I already know the answer, but this is a different video.
A part of me is just like, this is my kid's dad. It's just hard, you know?
This is really common, and it's exactly how pieces of shit like him get away with this for so long. And when it came to this incident, even Iggy Azalea responded with a tweet saying, been there, done that, warned you. But because you like his music, that must mean all these women are lying, right? With that said, the abuse didn't even end there, as just 2 days ago, he was arrested for assaulting another service worker, this time a limo driver. Allegedly, Playboi Carti and his girlfriend were fighting in the back of the limo, and it got so crazy that the driver decided to intervene. Apparently, everyone got out of the vehicle, and the driver said Playboi Carti got upset and hit his girlfriend. So again, we have another one. The driver said he didn't see Carti hit the girl, but said she was hunched over holding her chest, and then when the driver wasn't looking, Playboi Carti sucker punched him. And that's a major bitch move from a major bitch. So basically, the limo driver was just trying to stop the chaos. But in Playboi Carti's mind, that guy was hired to serve him. He's just a peon driver. He shouldn't speak unless Carti's yelling out a demand to him. People like this are beneath him. Like, that's how he thinks. Like, they're here to serve the great Playboi Carti.
Yo, that's wild, man. You can't be out here attacking service workers, bro. Like, there's no reason to be attacking service workers. Service workers are not there to be attacked. Service workers are there to service you, to help you out with what you're doing. The help, you should never cuss out the help. You should never. They're the ones who make your food. They do all this X, Y, and Z. Like, they are literally the ones that could poison you and murder you, fam. So you should never diss out the help, fam. Never. That's a bad idea.
I'm a superstar, you're just a driver. At the end of the day, this guy is an asshole to his fans. He has no regard for anyone with a regular job who's just trying to put food on their table. He has no regard for public safety. He's a serial abuser of women. And he's so selfish and entitled that he doesn't even care about his own kids. Literally every other year, this guy is being accused of putting his hands on a female. The dude's clearly got a lot of issues, clearly some mental health problems, and if he doesn't get it in check, he's going to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again. Someone is going to get severely hurt, and he's going to end up in prison for way longer than he wants to be in there, because the guy does have a lot of talent and he can redeem himself, but clearly there needs to be some therapy. He needs to sit down with someone. It's really sad because there are so many talented musicians that deserve to be in that place that he's in and would do great things with it, but instead these are the types of people that we give our energy to. These are the types of people that are famous when he clearly doesn't deserve these things.
I think when it comes down to a situation like this, the situation is that for right now, all these things are sort of kept under wraps, and for right now, all these things are, you know, what can I say? Not being put on blast. But as soon as the money starts dwindling, as soon as the fame starts dwindling, you know what's gonna happen? All this information is all gonna come to light, and it's all gonna be pushed further to take him down fully. Because that's what's keeping all this afloat. It's just the fact that the dude has money. But as soon as this money starts to dwindle, bro, I'm telling you, it's not gonna hold up. It's not gonna hold up, and the mans will look like a complete POS.